Harry's Wife, Part 101.90, Keeping the Royal Birth Hidden. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Slight change of subject matter here, although it's undoubtedly going to be linked to the recent revelations that are coming out of the Valentine Low book, I suspect. But an article by Emily Hutchinson in Nicky Swift tells us the royal controversy over Archie's birth was bigger than we thought. What is this? Something interesting and new been found in relation to Archie's birth from 3 years ago? As ever, I leave it for you to determine the veracity of the material. Let's dive in and find out what's being written. It's no secret that Harry's wife's pregnancy with her and Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex' first child, was fraught with controversy and plenty of attention from around the globe. The happy couple announced the big news of their son's birth in a statement which read, Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor was born at 0526 on Monday the 6th of May. He is the first child of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and is seventh in line to the throne. Archie weighed 7 pounds and 3 ounces and the Duchess of Sussex was present for the birth. The royal family also shared photos of the then newest addition to the family, including a very sweet snap of the now late Queen Elizabeth II meeting her great-grandson for the first time, alongside the Duchess of Sussex mum, Doria Ragland. It also included snaps of the happy parents showing off their son, who is now sixth in line to the throne, following the death of his great-grandmother, to the media for the first time. But it turns out that wasn't exactly something the new parents really wanted to participate in. A bombshell new book is shedding some light on what was really going on inside the royal family around that time, lifting the lid on plenty of reported family drama. Apparently, neither Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, nor Harry's wife, Duchess of Sussex, were all too interested in letting the media in on Archie Mountbatten Windsor's birth. Now, of course, there'll be those that will think, well, that's them looking after their child and ensuring that he's hidden from media intrusion. Well, possibly, and it's not done for emotional empathy for the child, but it's done as a means of control over the media. Remember, Harry's wife paints the media as black. She sees it intrusive, and the media is allowed to report on her when she says. The media is allowed to report on, let's say, her bowel movements when she declares that that is something that should be reported on. But also, she will seek to negate its threat to control by determining what it can report on, both in terms of saying yes to this and ensuring that we have the PR puff pieces, as I've repeatedly commented and reported upon, but also denying the media access where she deems that it's not appropriate. Of course, her narcissism will utilise the intrusiveness of the press and media and the need to protect her children from that. But understand, the narcissist is only doing it utilising those plausible explanations for her own uses, namely the prime aims. Of course, there's a certain protocol when a royal baby is born. Not that Harry's wife would abide by protocol, sense of entitlement and lack of accountability. With Vogue Australia reporting royal babies are usually born at St Mary's Hospital, and the ruling monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, is always first to know. As we saw with William, Prince of Wales, and Catherine, Princess of Wales, it's common for the media to be alerted when the mum goes into labour, and they then wait outside the hospital to see the proud parents leave with their newborn. Royal expert Kinsey Schofield spoke to Fox News Digital about the poignant time in Harry and Harry's wife's life, claiming Harry's wife thought the entire ordeal was barbaric and did not want to participate. Assertion of control. They even claimed she was against having Archie in the hospital because of all the attention. Now, of course, that's just an excuse because ordinarily she would lap up that attention, but was told she had no choice because she was having her first child a little later in life. As for Harry, Schofield claimed he was so unhappy with the drama that it took them days to come meet the baby. It's thought them is likely referring to his famous family members. The palace felt like this was one of the first examples of the Sussex distancing themselves and moving in an entirely different direction, Schofield shared. Of course, all of this chicanery and secrecy around the birth has caused many people, of course, to question whether there actually was one. And it's understandable why their minds might go in that direction because of this. However, there is a simpler explanation. It's quite simply that Harry's wife doesn't like the media, and therefore she uses the excuse of media intrusion as a means to punish them by not admitting them to allow to see what's going on. Other royal experts also dished on what really went down around the time of Archie Mountbatten Windsor's birth. Opening up about the time in royal history in the book, The New Royals, Queen Elizabeth's Legacy and the Future of the Crown. It's claimed, via a page 6 excerpt, that the royals were not happy with how secretive the couple were about the pregnancy, with Daily Mail's royal editor, Rebecca English, sharing, behind the scenes, matters were so fraught that more than one official was reduced to tears of frustration and despair. Not the first time that Harry's wife has had that effect. When Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, and Harry's wife, Duchess of Sussex, did finally agree to meet with the press 2 days after his birth, it was claimed everything felt too staged. This is hardly the first time questions have been asked about Archie's birth, though. In the 2020 book, Battle of Brothers William and Harry, The Inside Story of a Family in Tumult, author Robert Lacey pointed out how the couple intentionally misled the press. Harry and Harry's wife were resolute that their newborn baby's first sight of the world should not be the same insane and lethal camera flashing that had attended and had actually brought about the death of Diana. No, I thought that was a drink driver and not wearing a seatbelt, but still. Lacey wrote, noting that Harry and Harry's wife did not make an announcement until they were already home, which supposedly angered Harry's brother William, Prince of Wales' sense of entitlement, lack of accountability. The fact that Harry's wife and Prince Harry weren't willing to spill every detail on the pregnancy and subsequent birth probably wasn't much of a surprise, though. As royal watchers may remember, the couple made it very clear shortly before Archie Mountbatten Windsor's birth that 100% transparency with the world wasn't exactly what they were aiming for. Really? Well, it seems to be transparent with everything else that they get up to. Their Royal Highnesses have taken a personal decision to keep the plans around the arrival of their baby private. The Duke and Duchess look forward to sharing the exciting news with everyone once they have had an opportunity to celebrate privately as a new family. An April 2019 statement from Kensington Palace read. Of course, since then, they've also welcomed their second child, daughter, Lilibet Mountbatten Windsor, who was born in June 2021. The family had already moved to California by the time Lilibet was born and were no longer full-time working members of the royal family, so her birth was kept even more private than her brother's. Buckingham Palace announced the news of her birth, which happened in a Santa Barbara hospital, saying in a statement that mum and daughter were both home and doing well, adding, per BBC News, the Queen, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall and the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have been informed and are delighted with the news. But there's more. Page 6 tells us, Prince Harry was morbidly obsessed with keeping Archie's birth private. This is by Nikki Ghostin. Prince Harry was reportedly gripped by shrouding the detail around son Archie's birth. One source described Harry as being almost morbidly obsessed with keeping Archie's birth as secret as possible. Royal expert Katie Nicholl writes in her new book, The New Royals, Queen Elizabeth's Legacy and the Future of the Crown. The quest for secrecy allegedly breached an unwritten contract between the royals and the public, who were eager and expecting to hear all the details about the new royal baby as soon as Harry's wife gave birth. Sense of entitlement, lack of accountability. Behind the scenes, matters were so fraught that more than one official, as I know from personal experience, was reduced to tears of frustration and despair, added Rebecca English, royal editor of the Daily Mail. The usual protocol following a royal birth is for the father, mother and newborn babe to pose on the steps of the hospital surrounded by well-wishers and photographers and answer a few questions before driving away. But the Duke and Duchess of Sussex wanted to change all that, according to Nicholl. When Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor was born on May 6, 2019, the couple managed to bamboozle the press when it actually arrived. Harry had always enjoyed outfoxing the media. Nicholl writes, he and Harry's wife were thrilled to be safely delivered at their son in London's private Portland hospital, even before the palace press office had confirmed the Duchess was in labour. Harry does this, of course, because of innate distrust of the media, following his perception that they caused his mother's death, and of course Harry's wife feeds into that, and also engages in bamboozling them because she regards them as anti-Harry's wife. 2 days later, the couple participated in a brief photo opportunity with a single reporter to ask questions, assertion of control. But it all felt stage-managed with pre-approved questions, one journalist and one photographer, Nicholl continues. It demonstrated the growing gulf between public expectations of Harry and what he felt obliged to give. The Suits alum had looked tired and uncomfortable at the time. Similarly, Prince William's wife, Kate Middleton, also confessed that she found the postnatal photo shoots difficult, with Nicole writing that the Princess of Wales acquiesced because she will one day be queen and the mother of a king, so there was a legitimate public interest. Also, of course, Catherine recognising service. Additionally, Harry's wife, 41, and Harry, 38, had a private christening and refused to release the names of Archie's godparents. However, Nicole notes that although the Sussexes may have served an ace in their quest for privacy and tore another page out of the royal notebook, they also damaged the Crown's relationship with the press, the broadcasters, and by extension the public, who felt duped by the experience, whether that was a fair expectation or not. Collateral consequence. So, a different book, different revelations, but again shows why this behaviour occurred as seen through the narcissist lens. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.